a certain level. So, but we go by an alphabet system. So I kind of feel like I'm going through a life transition right now, but it's like a good one. Mm-hmm. Like, I honestly feel like a part of me died in 2020, like when COVID happened. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know, I was just like on such a like good high. I had just finished college, graduated December 2019, you know. And then it's like the COVID had happened and I started a new job and that was great, like a great new experience. But I feel like a part of me, like on the inside of me, like who I am, like died a little bit during COVID. Yeah. Like I don't even know what it was or what it was about, but those couple of years, like I kind of feel like I just woke up. Yeah. Like I feel like I was walking around in a daydream for years, and I just recently woke up like, hey, life is happening. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I'm not gonna get those years back. Like, and it kind of makes me sad because I feel like a lot of people took advantage of the pandemic and like started businesses or like did all these great things and like took advantage of it. But I feel like I don't know if my body went to like a state of shock or something, but I just like, I feel like I like died a little bit or like went to sleep and I just woke back up like, damn.
I mean, I think, well, you said it was a good thing.
I feel like it's a good thing, and I feel like it's a good thing because I'm coming out of it now. But, like, while it was happening, like, I knew I was in it. But, I don't know, it was the weirdest thing. Like, I just didn't feel in control. Maybe that's it. So, what do you mean when you say you came out of it? Like, what was your experience? Knowing that you were in it, now you out of it. You in a different place. Like, what are you saying? Like, what was it for you? I'm honestly not even sure. But it was just, like, a dark period. A dark era. Period. Yeah. Because like I felt like distant from God too. Like I don't know. Like I've always felt like things in life have usually come to me, and I felt like God's favor and like God's hand on my life. And then all of a sudden it was like I don't think He ever moved His hand off of me, right? But He got really quiet. I think that's what happened during COVID. He got really quiet. So it was kind of like, are you there? And it was like I would pray and I wouldn't get like direct answers. I just wasn't sure that He was hearing me. Yeah. Oh, so like, you know, I tried to do like the real estate stuff. I tried to dabble in that, but it was like I had tried to dabble in a lot of things. Yeah. And it was just like, no, fail, deny, like to everything. Yeah. And so it was just like for a period, it was like, okay, I feel like God isn't telling me what I should do next, like my next steps. I don't really know what to do. But it's like everything I tried to do was like, nope, not that. So I'm like, yeah, just piggybacking off that, I think I have had like the same experience to that, but I had to look at it as, I don't think more so God took His hand off me, but He took off that push. So He just allowed things that were going on in my life to make me do more so of the work and come to like acknowledgement to different things that was going on. The society that we live in, you have to do something in order to have a good life. You know, you can't just be in life doing whatever and just expect for things to just happen for you. Yeah. So it's like, for me, I felt like you were saying, like you felt like God took His hand off. He's like, I felt the same way, but it was like more so like, why do I feel that? Like, what am I doing, you know, in my physical being? And it made me realize, like, wow, I wasn't allowing myself to be me and how I want to feel happy. I was just going about how life was showing me how I'm supposed to do things, and they were two different places. And then it was like, once I started, you know, making my life go to that side where it was happy, you know, like I do Pilates now, you know, I feel good, like physically I feel good, you know, I eat different, you know, so, you know, that plays a part. I pray different now, like throughout the day, you know, moments, like, you know, and then like going off a transition, I just lost my granddad. So like for me, that was a big part of like, you know, this is life. You gotta do something. Like I was very close to my grandparents growing up. So for me, that's why I'm so like, my personality, I can get along with a fly on the wall. Like
I can get along with anybody. I can be in any environment, anything because of my grandparents.
Yeah.
I lost my grandma probably in 2018 or 2019. So that already hit home. So you lose one grandparent, you real close, so you cling on to the other one. Mind you, my granddad, he was staying with me. So, you know, my whole entire life, I've been with my grandparents all my life. So, you know, like at their funerals, everyone's crying, all those things. And for me, they always taught me never mourn off of good things that you have, that you can always keep in the present, right? So, it's like how I handle things in my life. I don't mourn over it. I keep, because it's like, I can breathe. I pass, you know, hospitals, you know, like urgent cares and stuff. I'm not going there, you know. In my heart, God is telling me, be you. Always be you. Have a great heart. Keep gratitude. And just go through life. Because me, I live by faith and not by fear. That's why I don't never be scared to do anything. You know, I might be to myself and quiet, but I'm never scared to do anything because I know that all I got to do is take that first step and God gonna have the rest. Yeah. And for me, it's just like, even though I have so much faith and everything, I still am very to myself about my problems and everything. Yeah. Right? It's just how I am, how my mom is. You gotta learn to not be so like heavy on yourself and taking on everything. And it's just like, if you got people in your life who say they're there for you, they gonna be there for you. Sometimes you don't always gotta disclose things, but it's like, if you want to transition into a good life every day, you gotta be able to release and receive. And for me, I'm learning to release more of me into other people so they can just receive that goodness is still there. You know what I mean? It's like recently, like the last few weeks with me have been hell. And every day I say, God, things are always working out for me, no matter how it looks at any given point in time. I tell myself that every day, no matter what I go through, it's gonna always work out, and it always works out, right? Because it's like, it's just like in life, we panic, right? That's innate. You panic first, but it's like when you have a strong faith with God, you panic, but you just breathe and you say, God, I'm gonna give it to you. And that's just, in life, that's what I've been learning.
No, that was good, honey.
Yeah, but yeah.
Well, first of all, yes, like I'm like, yeah.
That's crazy.
First of all, sorry for your loss because I did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
And I was just talking to my boyfriend about this. Like, people don't realize how important grandparents are. Like, your parents can only do so much. They can only love you in a certain way. But the love that grandparents can give is like so unconditional.
And that's like, I feel like they can, like your parents, for me, I feel like your parents can only teach you what they know in that moment. Your grandparents can teach you what you need to know for a long time, right? Today's generation follows social media, follows the media. That's pretty much what it is. So like, people can't transition on their own because they on these platforms that's telling you what you should follow. You know, like TikTok fast. I'm not gonna lie, I do be falling into them, but
a little bit.
But it's just like, I follow things that work, you know, that help, not how I think. You know what I mean? I think I'm gonna have my own mind.
I think the biggest thing about social media that I always be, well, I don't say I've always remembered, but I'm trying now as an adult to remember. When you were talking about how, like, you said God always be in your ear telling you, like, just be you, be yourself. When it comes to social media, and I just don't know if people see it this way or feel this way, but obviously everything that you see on social media is based off of a trend. Yeah. And every trend is going to change. Yeah. Like, it's all seasonal. Yeah. It's going to be cute now and then out later. Exactly. Or it's going to be in for 2 minutes, out 5 years. Or it's in for 5 years, it's gone, just like that. Yeah. Whatever it is, but like, I just feel like that because of all of those trends of social media that everybody's trying to follow, nobody's ever being allowed the opportunity to be them. And then when you try to fall into social media to let you be you, then your work feels temporary, I guess. Because like, now you're feeling like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in today and I'm out tomorrow. And just your point about like God being in your ear saying, be you, be you. I feel like that's such a big thing. It really is a big thing because you just can't put your self-worth into external items,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
into tangible things that seem tangible because somebody got the clothes, or they got the shoes, or they got the house, or whatever. Like, you cannot put your worth in that, because at the end of the day, out tomorrow, and it's just gonna leave you like feeling like, what do I have left, or like, what's in my hand? You know what I mean? And that's not a good feeling to have. I personally, I feel like I do that. I do look at external items and say, okay, well, I don't have this and I don't have that, versus having a more grateful perspective.
Yeah.
Right.
But I have to remind myself all the time, like, in today, out tomorrow. If you put your worth in that, what are you going to be left with when that's gone?
Yeah.
What are you going to have that you can just hold on to and be grateful for?
Yeah. And along with your worth, just like knowing who you are, period. Because a lot of those people who are on social media constantly following trends or fads, or like trying to be popular on this platform and then this platform and seeing what's trending. It's like, okay, but who are you? Like, at the end of the day, you're looking at all these people and trying to be like these people. But when TikTok gets shut down, when the trend changes, and you done changed your body, and now you're built like an ant. Because Instagram, because that was the best angle on Instagram. And now you try to go to TikTok and they all skinny. So now you're like, okay, how am I gonna get this sucked out? And then it's like, you look around and it's like, who am I even?
Yeah. And I feel like social media could have been, or it could be a good thing if everybody would be their authentic selves on there. Like, if we could just take people or things or items, whatever, at face value and just let them be whatever they are, whatever it is, but just like allowing people to be themselves on there, versus everybody trying to fit into the same image or the same circle. 100%. Like, it could be, social media really could be a whole lot different. It could be endless, but everybody can be so simple-minded
100%
when it comes to social media.
But you know what? I think people are kind of bursting out that bubble a little bit with social media. I think that's part of why Instagram and like sites like that are kind of starting to fail. Because people don't want to see that anymore. People don't want to see like everyone's perfect picture of like how things should be, and
that's true.
It looks so robotic. Like, hi, I'm Simone. This is my life. Like, it doesn't even feel real. It doesn't feel relatable. I think that's why like TikTok and things like that are becoming more popular, because you can relate to people on there.
And even going off that, like, I don't know if y'all paid attention, but they introducing like this metaverse type of thing now. It's like,
no, it's so cringy.
Yes, it's so scary.
So cringy.
And it's just like,
I'm trying to be living until I'm 1,010.
no, like, so serious. But my thing is, like, how I look at it is, I feel like this is all, even as a kid, I always felt like if I can think it, it can happen. Right?
100%.
And it's just like, that's wild to me. Like, some of the stuff that they be doing on there, like, I seen like YouTube videos of people like playing it and stuff, and there's even like a museum or something in California that's literally like that. It's like a auto simulator or whatever, and you just basically experience it in the metaverse, and it's wild that it's just like technology is exceeding to the point where it's like literally anything that we think, they can make it happen. Yeah, that's wild to me.
And it's scary to me, and I honestly think it's demonic.
Oh, for
like
sure.
Social media as a whole.
For sure.
It really is. Because think about how many times you're just walking around and you see everybody face first in their phone. Or you catch yourself doing it for hours, scrolling and scrolling. Like, the stuff that you could have done and you could have accomplished, like, I feel like it's truly pulling people away from their purpose. Yeah. And we already live inside of our phones so much. You're trying to make a metaverse, make a universe inside the phone. That's literally making you not you anymore. Yeah. You're just putting yourself into this fake universe.
Exactly. And that's why catfish is so big. Even still, we have all this.
Still getting catfish.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I know, because they still make episodes, like new episodes of catfish. So it's like, how are you getting catfish?
I know, it's crazy.
No. I'm sorry, because if you call me a fat ass Kelly Price,
I'm hollering.
You can't FaceTime me. That's a problem.
No, seriously.
Everybody got Apple, so what do you mean?
Send me a video.
Well, no, that's very odd.
Yeah, that's weird. But
you never, unless they're older.
Do y'all?
No.
I know you got a flip phone. You got a camera on there somewhere. You better figure it out. Because they don't even make phones anymore without camera.
Probably
really?
Yeah, they don't make phones.
It sounds useless.
Yeah.
Come on, you just got buttons.
You just got buttons. Oh, like the Firefly for kids. Kiddos. That's my kid.
No, they got track on
What's a
that.
firefly?
They do
You
track
never
on.
seen a firefly?
It's like a little keychain. You just post like your mom, your dad, and the
That's
rest
the
of
only
them.
people you can call is mom, dad, or
No one.
That's it.
That's gonna be my kid.
They're gonna be so mad. All the other kids gonna be having their parents popping up.
Exactly. Like Spy Kid watches like, oh my goodness.
I'm like, you got your firefly?
No, because my little cousin, she just turned 11, and she's like, all her friends have iPhones.
Yeah.
And she just has like, a regular Android phone.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is, when I got a phone, I didn't care if it
That
flip,
part.
close, any of that.
That
Because I was
part.
lit when I got a razor.
Come on.
Yes.
So my thing is like, wow, like even kids, it's terrible. Like social media is horrible.
Oh,
And
they got the iPad in their face when they're born.
I'm about to say,
Yes.
it's the worst.
Anything else.
It's these kids,
Yeah, it's the
kids
best.
under 12.
Yeah.
It's the worst. It's the worst.
Now that's sad too.
Yeah. Because that's all you see is like people with strollers and they have like them little plastic tablets playing like.
Which I get it to an extent. Like
No.
sometimes you need your kid to
No.
have something to entertain themselves. Like when we were young, we had TV. We sat and watched TV. We sat and watched shows, right?
Yeah.
But to an extent, now they got the TV with the.
I about to say, I don't got no tablet.
In the
I don't
train,
got
on the stroller,
Like
in the
for
grocery
me,
store. Like
ain't no way. Because
it's
like my kids,
overwhelming.
they can't have tablets and stuff until they get into like middle school.
But here's the thing, though.
Absolutely not.
Here's the thing, though. You should do that as a parent, but also the way society is going, you're going to be forced to have to give that to them.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, your child's going to end up behind. The more society becomes more technological, like iPads literally is what they're using.
So
in classes,
that's when
know
you
what
get
I'm
your kid a book. So instead of you read to your kid, you get them a book. Oh, you want to do something? Write your ABCs out. Write out some sentences. That's how you make kids smarter, when you have them do the long work as opposed to
Right.
She's
the-
just
right,
saying
but
that in
no.
general,
Oh.
if education is
No, that
Right.
is happening currently right now.
Exactly, yeah.
One
They're
of my
kind of
cousin's
forcing it
classes,
into them.
they have to do everything on a computer. No, my uncle said no, absolutely not. He makes her write everything out. All this, yeah.
Yeah.
There's no
I don't
way.
But it's just the balance of like you don't want your kid to end up being behind in a world that's
For sure.
like super technological. So I think it's more like a balance. I think the parents now don't know how to balance. Look, let me not judge because I ain't got no kids.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We ain't got no kids. We ain't got no kids. But if I did have one, I'm gonna tell y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all
Can we redo
this.
this podcast when we all got kids and be like, are we all saying the same thing?
Like, girl, I be
no,
clean. So I had two in one in the bedroom, one in the kitchen, just because they freak out when they go into commercial.
One
break.
died. Shit, one died. I gotta turn the other one
Yeah,
up.
was ready to go.
Talking about the car seat even flip out to one of them.
Nah, yeah.
It's probably a whole lot different when you got kids, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
Yeah.
But
for sure.
the goal for sure would
Yeah.
be not to have a kid.
Yeah.
It's
For sure.
It's too much. It's too
But
much.
you
Because they don't know how to interact though. That's the only
They
thing.
don't know
They
how
don't
to
know how
interact.
to interact.
They do
Yeah.
not.
Social cues is terrible. Like when you weren't on the computer, that's when TikTok became big.
Mm.
So you was on TikTok, and it's just
So what y'all
Maybe
think
not
about homeschooling? Like, would you homeschool your child?
no.
I'm mixed feelings
I'm
about
mixed
it.
too.
Mixed feelings.
It takes out social cues.
I don't disagree with that. Okay, well, let me say two things. One, I have a niece that, black people be like, that's my niece, but that's really anything.
Yeah.
Because y'all know I got a niece. But I have a niece who was homeschooled from, straight out the mama cooch until 8th grade. She's now about to be a freshman in high school. So she just started school this year.
Oh, wow.
She's 13 years old. First of all, I shit you not, she is so smart.
Yeah.
Like, smarter than any regular kid.
Yeah.
But she's been homeschooled. She's extremely smart, extremely intelligent. She doesn't miss out on social cues. Her mom put her in dance all her life growing up.
But that's the thing, you have to put them extracurricular activities when they're around other people.
Yeah, well, she did that. She did dance. She did any sport she wanted to. She never missed out on any soccer or choir, whatever. If she wanted to do it, her mom would put her in it.
Right.
She never had that, and never lacked that. And so she now isn't going to school because she's about to be in high school, and her mom wants her to be able to have that social aspect of going out with your friends and all that. But how I see it, it didn't fail her not one bit.
Right. But I think, like she said, because they still did put her in those social situations.
Yeah, I guess that's. But wouldn't you want to do that if your kid was homeschooled? That's not
yes, but they don't all do that.
Yeah, they don't all do that because one of Evan's students just got put in his class, and literally they've been homeschooled. Like, didn't know what to do. Like, just at home with the parent, doing school stuff, doing the parents' daily errands, and that's it.
Yeah.
And
So
no, I
it's
would not do that.
yeah. So it's like they didn't have like, you know, be able to be in like even just like a boys and girls club. You know, you need some type of social act.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, for
With,
sure.
yeah.
I will kind of say that I'm concerned about the safety, obviously, all the school shootings and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
that's one of the big things that concerns me.
Definitely.
But also, like, just the education in general. You see the stuff they're trying to do in Florida and Texas and literally writing
Yeah.
history, black history specifically, out of the books. People saying they don't like CRT. They don't even know what CRT is. Like, the parents aren't educated. The teachers aren't educated. So how are they supposed to educate my child? And, like, I have to trust these people, too. Like, I would rather do that myself at home. And I know my kid is safe and doesn't have to buy a bulletproof backpack.
I'm with
Yeah.
her on
You
that.
feel me? Like,
Yeah,
so I
definitely.
for sure understand. Like,
Yeah.
that's why I'm on the fence. It's like...
And then too, it's like you can't homeschool. And then it's like if you do homeschool, you have to be set up in a predicament where you can be with your kid. Like you have to be able to teach your kid. You
Right.
can't just be like, oh, do this booklet and then we're gonna meet up again on Friday. You know, you have to actively.
That's a full day thing. So that
Yeah.
requires you either paying someone to come into your home
Mhm.
or you're missing out on an income because a parent is going to have to sit up and do that. You know,
Yeah.
you can't do a remote job and be trying to do that and then trying to teach your kid. Then your kid ends up lacking.
Yeah.
So like,
But that safety is such a big thing. It
Yeah.
really is. And then like just the way the government handle all these school shootings and stuff, they're not doing anything. So it's clearly not that important. How am I supposed to convince you that my child's life is important? Your child, X-person child is important.
Yeah.
If you just don't think that already. Like
Yeah.
that's crazy. I feel like people need to start getting their community of people together and then agreeing to homeschool their kids, and it's, you know, y'all half the neighborhood or
Yeah.
whatever.
like you take Mondays, you Tuesday, Wednesday,
Yeah.
Thursday. We work the other day.
They say it
and-
take a village to raise a family. Okay,
Yeah.
well, we need to start acting like it.
No, for
Yeah.
real.
Because it's wild out here. The government don't care.
So what y'all think, like public versus private school?
I don't have any
You don't care?
indifference about that either way.
I don't know. I feel like I said, like it's a financial thing. If you can afford it, why not do private?
Yeah.
It's a better.
Or like, are preps free? Is prep school free?
You have to test into it.
Right.
The only thing with like the prep schools and them, all those Ivy League schools, maybe I'm just saying I'm being biased because I'm not the smartest person in the world. Okay, I'm not the smartest worm, but but I feel like it puts too much pressure on academics in the worst ways. I don't think that there's like, I would want my kid to be smart. I would want my kid to strive for good grades, to have A's and B's. But I ain't gonna lie to you. Call me a horrible parent when the time comes. But I don't care if you don't have good grades either.
Yeah.
Also, but that's how my mama was, so I could just. I really could just be.
Long as you try and you do your best.
My mom
Right,
always
yeah.
was like, shit you not, this was always the line, like, if you fought hard for that C and the C was the best that you could get, I'm gonna be proud of you.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
she always
adorable.
said that.
That's
good.
lovely.
I mean, I never really, in high school I had bad grades, in college I didn't. I had pretty good grades. Because then I, just took it more seriously.
Mm-hmm.
But also, then I still got a good job now, and I still
Yeah.
graduated college.
Right.
Because academics was like, what's the word I'm looking for? It was something else extra to obtain, but it wasn't like my whole
It wasn't the end all be all.
end all
for you.
be all. Academics is just, it just don't make you. I'm sorry, I don't care about it. I want you to be smart. I want you to strive for it, but it does not make you. And you could be super smart and still be a horrible person.
Yeah.
And then what are we gonna do with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Or it's like even going back to the social things. You so focused in schools, you didn't even build your social connections. That's how you get
Networking.
That's how you get your success. When
Yeah.
you make connections, you meet people.
So what you know is school,
so
you know.
prep school, private
Oh,
school,
absolutely.
whatever.
Absolutely, because I amen.
Amen.
Amen to that one, girl. Cause that just goes off like another thing. That just goes off being a good person. If your parents teach you to be a good person, you're well off in life in anything.
Oh, for sure.
Because if
you
you're
can
a
be
good,
underqualified.
yeah.
Very.
And they're just like, you know what? I know that you're going to show up on time, do your work. I know you have the ability to want to learn. And I know that if I tell you to do something, you're going to get it done.
Yeah.
That's how you get a job.
People want to be
1,000.
around you.
Yeah.
People want to work with you.
1,010%. I had a point that I wanted to say earlier that I didn't get to say.
Okay.
But when you were talking about COVID, how like it was just a bad year for you, and you were saying how COVID like opened up for you too, I honestly think that God knew what he was doing when he did that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think every single person in the world, whether their eyes was open to it or not, everybody's life was flipped upside down. in a good way or a bad way.
Yeah.
Either you was living a good life and then that rejection started to happen,
Yeah.
or life was just not in your favor, and then
Yeah.
at a flip of a dime, it was just working out for you.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like every single person's life had a upside down moment, no matter what it was. But I just feel like it shows God's favor in so many ways, because as for the people that had it, that may have had it good for a long time and then had that final peak moment of like having to figure it out or shuffle, it's like letting them know that if it was good, I was here. If it wasn't, I'm still here. And then like vice versa, like if it was bad for you, it was bad all up until this point. When this extra overwhelming piece happened, I had enough grace to flip your situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I swear God was so intentional about COVID.
Yeah.
I don't. It was unfortunate.
It was
It was very, very unfortunate.
Yeah.
But I don't believe by not one bit that was not super intentional.
Yeah. I agree.
I would take it back. I ain't gonna lie. Would y'all?
No. Take it back?
If you could say that COVID didn't happen, and we continued life as it was, would you, or would you say I'm not gonna lie,
I feel like
no.
So like before, so you're saying before COVID, the pandemic happened. So say like before, because it literally happened on my birthday, and I was out of town when that happened. So if it didn't happen since that March, moving forward, continue doing things. Nope, I wouldn't change it, because I feel like if it would have stayed the same, I definitely wouldn't be in the place I'm in now.
We wouldn't be the people we are right now. Like, I would never have the audacity to say I want to change. I wish this could have been done differently in my life. Like, I would never, because everything happens for a reason.
Amen.
Whether we like it or not in the moment, like, you always come out and you're like, God, I understand why. I get it. I had to go through that moment. And it's like I said, I didn't feel like his hand was off me. I feel like he was quiet. Yeah. And like you were saying, sometimes he just gotta be quiet, and like you do just kind of have to figure it out on your own. Like you said, like he's not pushing you as much. Like he might give you little taps, but you kind of have to figure out the way for yourself sometimes.
And I think like a lot of times, like when you feel like you can't hear God and you just stuck, that's when you really gotta be like, okay, what do I gotta do? Like I gotta evaluate myself, because obviously, if I feel like I can't hear him or he's not telling me nothing, then it is just me. So what it is that I'm going to do, you know? So you got to, like, look at it like that. And it's like a lot of times, like, you make that initial step, he got the rest.
Exactly. Like, I feel like we think when we hear, like, God is going to order our steps, it's like, okay, God, what am I going to do? Like, show me the way. Sometimes you literally have to, like, step out, like, stick your toe out and then be like, oh, no, it's too hot. Oh, no, that's too cold. You literally have to step before you have any idea where you're going.
And then a lot of times too, even like looking at situations, like when you do make that step and you fail, you know, that was the worst that could happen. So if you did something else or you did it again, then you know what the worst that can happen. Right. And I think the worst thing is not trying.
100%. Never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game.
Yes, Cinderella.
Cinderella story. And sometimes it's just perspective, or it's just your mental. Because I've been in places in life where I'm in the exact same situation, nothing has changed, but the way that I choose to look at the outlook of where I am, I could be like, damn, and I could think about all the negative things that are happening and feel like my life is so bad, or I could be in the same situation and think about all the positive things and just feel like life is so good.
I love y'all for not being like that. I'm scared.
Fearful?
Yes.
What, scared to try things?
So what is something?
No.
Yeah, like
so like what is something that like you're like, I want to do that, but I don't know if I should do that.
There's so many things I could really name a list.
So what is the fear behind it? Why don't you want to do it?
I don't know, but you can literally ask my mom, even as a kid. Like she will always be. I'd say I want to try this. I want to do this, and I'm comfortable to say that to my mom or to my friends. And then she'll be like, the worst thing that can happen is say no. They'll say no, or you don't get it. Yeah. That pissed me off growing up. And that to me was never comforting. That's not a comforting line.
Really?
Like, the worst that they can do is say no.
But then you're like, that's what I don't want.
That's the worst thing that could happen to me. I literally don't want them to say no. I want this thing so bad.
But just think, but if you never did it, how would you know you're going to get a no?
I mean, I understand that from an adult logical perspective, but that doesn't make it any easier. Or it doesn't feel lighter to me. Yeah. It don't.
And also from a control freak perspective, because I understand. I feel like one thing that's helped me is always having a backup plan.
Yeah.
Like when I get a no I never put myself in a predicament where my life, happiness, except, well, I try not to, anything depends on someone saying yes.
Yeah.
If they say yes or they say no, then, okay, well, I can't go through this door, let me go out this window. You feel me? Like, and I feel like that's part of life. It's just like constant, okay, let's look in this door. Let's look at this door.
Next time, too, you'll get to have cue cards. Because that's what I should have wrote down. Because that's a really good point. And I would take that on my mirror.
Yeah.
That,
to have like
say
a backup
again,
plan?
Yeah, no, she said have a backup plan, but it wasn't that got me.
If the door's not open, go through the window.
No, never associate your plan to somebody else's yes.
Yeah.
Whatever you said,
Yeah.
that's a line. Okay.
Yeah.
I need to remember that.
Yeah.
Because I never really thought about
Always have a backup plan. That's like in a simple way, like sometimes people will be like, oh, I want this specific job. So they won't go and try to get jobs until they get that one job.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Or they'll quit their job waiting for this person to say yes, and then they say no, and then you're out on your ass. You know, like always have some sort of backup plan for yourself. As a control freak, like
That's true.
never leave it in somebody else's hands.
Exactly, because ain't nothing worse than being without that one thing you had and you just left with nothing at all.
Yeah.
You want to go skydiving?
No.
I feel like,
Why did I think
listen,
I'm
I feel like if you go, I feel like skydiving is like the most like scariest thing that you can do, and I feel like once you do that, you can do anything. Because
you know what though? You know what I also think will help? It's scary. It's something you've never done before, but it forces you to lose control. Honestly, I feel like you just need to try more things that make you lose control.
Yeah. So you ain't trying to do it or not?
Bombastic side eye.
Am I doing it with you? No.
I'll do it with you. I'll do
I
it
don't
with
need
you.
the pep talk.
I'll do it with you.
I don't need the pep talk.
I'll do it with you.
That specific thing, no. I
didn't need the
just
pep
feel
talk.
like, why jump out of a perfectly good airplane?
Oh my goodness!
Like,
Why
it just
not?
doesn't make sense to me.
I've always been on the
But-
plane wanting to open the door so bad, but I'm like, no.
I always do. I literally be thinking about it like,
I just be like,
I mean,
don't
because your brain tells you to like jump
No, it
out.
doesn't.
My brain tells me to jump out. There.
You ain't never-
my seatbelt on.
You ain't never.
Y'all play.
Love you guys. Come on.
Oh, we're
Come
done.
on in.
Yay.
I love you guys
I'm hot,
so
too.
much.
I love you though.
It is hot in here.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, the temperature was rising with the conversation.